This is it, the Season 1 Grand Finale. Today, Finnair's revolutionary AirLounge seat goes head-to-head against Turkish Airlines' flagship A350 to decide the best airline in Europe. Welcome back to the Flyman Yann Aviation World Cup. Finnair fought through SAS, TAP and Icelandair to get here, while Turkish dominated Air Serbia, Swiss and Air France to secure their spot in the finals. From premium check-in facilities and exclusive flagship lounges to spacious onboard seating, chef-led catering and full lie-flat comfort, I'll be ranking both carriers across 5 categories. And only one can be crowned the Season 1 champion.
We finally made it to the very final episode of Season 1. It's been a long journey to get here. 16 short-haul economy flights, 8 short-haul business flights, and 4 long-haul economy flights across the Atlantic. We finally made it to the last episode. Today, it's going to be 2 business class flights, one with Finnair and one with Turkish, our 2 finalists. Now, first of all, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who stuck around and watched this season. I've been reading all the comments and I've been loving the conversation, and I'm just so happy for everyone who's come back every week and watched all the episodes. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. But right now, let's go inside because I'm really excited for this episode, because after all these economy seats, I'm ready for a bit of luxury, a bit of business class. So let's head inside. It's interesting that Finnair and Turkish both made it to the finals because their approach and philosophy to business class couldn't be more different. But today, I'm flying with Finnair to New Delhi in business class on the AirLounge seat. So let's go check in and start this journey.
Finnair's priority check-in area is quite understated, but it's efficient and leads right into fast-track security.
The ground experience so far has been really effortless. The priority check-in had 0 queues. I got my boarding pass in no time. Although, come on, Finnair, paper flimsy boarding passes for business class. But then they pointed me to the fast-track security. Would have been quicker if I didn't get pulled aside for secondary screening. But anyway, I made it through passport control, and behind me here is the Finnair non-Schengen lounge. Now, earlier in the series, we saw the Finnair Schengen lounge, but I've been to this one behind me before, and it is a bit nicer. So let's get inside and relax. I've just managed to find a seat. It is so busy in here. I've only been in here once before, and I've just realized it was in 2021 where travel was on a downturn. I basically had the whole lounge to myself. Now there's a massive queue in front of me for the bar. There's a queue for the showers, which I want to use, and almost every seat is taken. There's people walking around all over the place, so it's not the calming oasis I remember from a few years ago. There's also the Platinum Wing, which is a lounge next door for One World Emerald members, but I've lost my gold status. Thanks BA, so I'm in here. I can see there's a few flights boarding now on the board, so hopefully it comes down a bit and I'll show you around.
And after about 30 minutes, the lounge cleared out a bit, so let me show you around. As you enter, there's seating alongside the pathway that leads into the dining area. There's a large buffet selection with salads, hot dishes, fruit, snacks, and the famous Finnair blueberry juice. If you haven't tried this, you've got to give it a go. And there's also a self-pour station with red, white, and sparkling wines. But I'm not settling for standard sparkling wine today. The good stuff is behind this 360-degree cocktail bar. Cheers! Finally, another point for champagne on the scoreboard. There's a bit more seating tucked at the back of the lounge, but I stayed seated right by the bar for easy access to more cocktails. A Bloody Mary this time, and did a bit of work until one of the showers became free. These are available on a walk-up basis and bookable using the touchscreen. There's everything you need to freshen up: a toilet, towels, toothbrush, hairdryer, and of course, the shower itself.
Oh, that shower was much needed. This is actually my 3rd flight I'm taking today, so I spent the morning running around different airports and just sweating out. So I feel so much better now. And actually, when I stepped out, the lounge just got completely quiet. So I think I'm gonna get one more glass of champagne, and I've seen my flights just started boarding, so we'll finish that quick and see what's in store for us on board.
And here's the 17-year-old A330 will be flying over to New Delhi today.
Okay, I just got settled into my seat. I've flown this once before, and honestly, I forgot how much I love it. I really think this is a great seat. A lot of people complain because there's no recline, saying it's not comfortable, but you've got 1, 2 pillows, you can lay flat. I'm perfectly able to get comfortable with just these 2 pillows here, and you can adjust yourself in any position you want. For me, I find this way more comfortable than a standard seat, and because you don't have all the recline mechanism in the way, you have way more space to move around. So I'm really comfortable here. The crew's been super friendly, big smiles. Got some champagne to start off the trip, so cheers. And on the seat itself, we've got an amenity kit. We'll have a look at that later. And we've got the menus, which we'll also look at later. But for now, I'm gonna get settled in, enjoy the champagne, and I'll see you after takeoff.
And before we get up there, let's have a look around the seat. The navy blue color scheme looks great, and the fabric finish does an incredible job of dampening the sound in the cabin. It's noticeably quieter when you're in here. It's a very minimalist seat design. There's no adjustable headrest or electronic recline. It's all up to these pillows, which has made it quite a polarizing seat design. It's business class, so of course legroom is great, but I did have some issues with this cubbyhole I'll come back to later when I show you how to set up the bed. Seat controls are just under the wooden side table, there's a small storage compartment, and there's one more slightly larger storage area which holds the provided water bottle too. Of course, the IFE screen is in front, but we'll check that out once we're in the air. Speaking of, let's head to the runway. Not long after takeoff, the crew handed out a hot wet towel and served some more champagne with salted almonds. Small side note, but I love the glassware that Finnair uses on board. The menu offered 2 fixed cold plates, a choice of 3 mains, cheese, and a choice of 2 desserts. And here's a peek at the wine list for those that know more about wine than me. You can let me know in the comments if any of these are good. After the crew took my order, it was about 50 minutes after takeoff until my meal was served.
I've just finished the meal service, and actually I really enjoyed it. I remember last time I flew Finnair in business class, I thought the meal service was a bit minimalist. I think in my mind I was comparing it to Qatar's service, which is honestly on another level. But this time I thought the meal service was a lot better. Everything served on 1 tray, so I had 2 starters and the main course. The first starter was salmon gravlax, and the second starter was a crusted parsnip flan. They were both really delicious, and for the main course you have a choice of 3 options: chicken biryani, fennel seasoned salmon, or spiced vegetable curry. I had the chicken biryani, which was really good, really delicious. I love the flavoring. And then once I'd finished that, the crew had cleared my table, and then they offered me a cheese and dessert course as well. And they also offered to pair it with wines. So with the cheese course, I had it with a port, I think? No, with a sparkling wine of some sort. And then with the brownie dessert, I had a port, which paired perfectly. It tasted good. Now I've all finished up. I'm really happy with the meal service. I think I'm going to settle down a bit now and relax a bit. I'm the only one with the window open now, so I can film, so I'm going to try and be quick, and I'm going to get comfortable and get ready to sleep. It's toilet inspection time, and did we finally get a good toilet for the finale? I think we did. This is the biggest toilet we've been in so far. Just check out the space here. You could have a party in here. You could have a few people in here. We've got a seat, the toilet's spacious, and have you ever used a toilet on a plane with a view to your side? Check this out. And what else do we have? We've got some branded hand wash, hand and body lotion here. The toilet itself is very clean. I'm impressed. I'm curious to see what Turkish is going to do, but honestly, this is the most impressive toilet I've seen so far in season 1, so nice job, Finnair. Okay, I'm back at my seat, and what do the onboard amenities look like? Well, we're finally on a wide-body aircraft. There's a bit more on offer, and we're in business class. That also helps. So, of course, the main thing is right in front of us. We've got the big IFE screen. I'll have a look through in a second to see what movies and shows are on offer. And also, I've seen that there's a tail camera on here. I thought the tail camera was only on the A350, but apparently it's on the A330 too, so I've got that on.
playing on the big screen. It's one of my favorite things to look at. And then what else about amenities? We have an amenity kit here, although I'll be honest, Finnair's amenity kit is pretty minimalist. It's aligned with the rest of the style. They're a very minimalist company, and the only thing you're going to find in this kit is an eye mask, a toothbrush, and earplugs, and that's it. Although I'd say that's pretty much all you need for a flight, but it's always nice getting a little bit more, makes the experience feel more premium. But this will do for this flight, and other than that, we've got the bed, which I'll set up later, so you'll see what that... Oh, I've just seen something. We also get slippers. So if you want to get extra cozy, we got some foot slippers here, and we've got power. In here, in this little compartment, we have a USB-A and USB-C port. We have the remote for the screen, headphones. Oh, these feel pretty decent. I'll try it. I don't know if I will try them. I just use my own headphones. Just below the seat here, we have an international power socket as well. Oh, and right here, next to the camera, is a wireless charging mat. So actually, they've got quite a few things here. It's quite a modern seat.
Free Wi-Fi is available for business class passengers, but only for 1 hour. And once that runs out, you're stuck paying for the €25 full flight package.
All right, let's get the bed set up and see what that looks like. Okay, time for a new section in this series, just for the very last episode, the sleep review. How did I find sleeping in this Finnair AirLounge seat? Well, first of all, I managed to sleep a few hours, I think maybe 5 hours total. I managed to get sleep, which is fine for an 8-hour flight. The one thing I did notice is this cubby hole is quite restricted, so your legs, especially at the tip of the cubby hole, feel pretty restricted. There's not much movement. The previous time I flew on this chair, I was sitting in the very first row, which has a wider cubby hole, and I definitely notice how much more restricted it is. Basically, if you look at this, this is where your legs are going into for the person behind. So look down through there, which is that part of the seat. Other than that, it was perfectly fine to sleep. Just one thing to be careful of, depending on if you sit on the left or right side. So I'm on the right side of the plane here. It's way more comfortable as a side sleeper to face right because of the shape of the seat. You see, you've got the room here to move your legs, but this way you start hitting the seat. So if you prefer sleeping on your right side, sit on the right. And if you prefer sleeping on your left side, sleep on the left side of the plane. But overall, I'm happy. It's always amazing to be able to lie down flat and get a few hours sleep on a bed. But I'm really curious how the Turkish Airlines seat is going to hold up next. I've never flown that one, so it's going to be a new experience. Let's find out. But first, there's breakfast coming. It's about to be served, so let's eat that and get on the ground.
It's baked egg souffle this morning with fresh fruit and a yogurt. It tasted fine, nothing special though. Then it was cabin lights on, a nice pre-landing piece of chocolate, and buckle up for landing into a very early morning New Delhi.
I finally made it to my hotel. I managed to get an early check-in. I'm at the Shangri-La here in New Delhi, and if you want me to do some more hotel reviews, let me know in the comments. I haven't done one in a while. But anyway, Finnair business class, what did I think? Overall, I think it was a great experience. Helsinki airport is great, it's a very efficient hub. The lounge was nice. Once it had got less busy, the service from the team members working there was great. Once I got on board, the crew were all really friendly. I got settled in. I love the AirLounge seat. I find it very comfortable. The meal service was improved since last time. Not to the level of like a Qatar Airways, but you know, we are in Europe after all. And I did manage to get quite a few hours of sleep. Although, like I said, your legs are quite restricted in that cubby hole, so just something to be aware of. So I'm quite curious now, how is Turkish Airlines gonna do? Are they going to be able to beat it? They've taken a very different approach compared to Finnair's minimalism. So let's head to Istanbul and find out. First, check out this view. Welcome to Istanbul. It's the final flight of season 1, and today we're finding out who's winning the Aviation World Cup for Europe. Now let me know in the comments if you thought Finnair and Turkish would be the final 2, and if not, let me know which airlines you thought would make it. But today we're going to find out who's winning, so let me head inside through this dedicated business class entrance. Let's do it. And you don't only get access to the business entrance. Here, there's rows and rows and rows of check-in counters. But if you're flying in business class, you can use the exclusive business class check-in facility here. Check-in area is nice and quiet. There were absolutely no queues. I got my boarding pass printed in about 30 seconds. There's sofas by the desks if you need to wait a bit longer, and there's also seating and sofas running the whole length of the check-in area if you've got to wait for whatever reason. There's some little water bottles here too if you want to have a sip. And overall, this is more of a larger, more exclusive, more dedicated area than what was offered at Helsinki airport, which just had like a few separate desks for business class. So pretty impressed so far. Right now, I'm going to head behind me. There's a fast track security, and then we're going to find the lounge. I've been to Istanbul airport a few times at this point, and this is the quietest I've ever seen it. If you remember, the last time I flew Turkish in short-haul business class was the episode against Swiss, and the airport was so rammed. And what I'm hoping for now is that translates to a bit more peace and quiet in the lounge, because it was way too busy last time. So hopefully we can get a nice, tranquil space. Let's find out. It is so much more quiet in the lounge today. It's crazy how much of a difference it makes. Last time I was feeling a bit stressed even being in here. It was a struggle to find a seat. There was people walking around everywhere. Right now, it's not empty, but there's barely any people. It's very peaceful. So let's have a stroll around the lounge, see what we can find.
We've been here before, but let's have a quick recap. We're first greeted by the self-playing piano, and today there's no shortage of free seats all around the lounge. From corner sofas, to dining tables, to lounges and private pods, there's something for everyone. Food-wise, it seems like the live cooking stations are closed right now, which tells me it's probably a quiet time for the lounge, which explains why it's so empty. There's still buffet options available with salads, fruits, sweets, and fridges filled with soft drinks. The wine selection is still just this small cart, and I'm sad to see no champagne is served in this lounge. This glass of Prosecco will have to do for now, so cheers, and let's add one to the scoreboard. The lounge sits a level above the main terminal, so you get views looking down over it. You can also find a Turkish Airlines mini museum, live news screens, luggage lockers, and something I didn't check out last time, the shower rooms. It took about 40 minutes until my buzzer went off and I was guided to the showers. The rooms were well appointed with everything you'd expect to freshen up.
Just had a nice shower, feeling very refreshed. When I stepped out of the shower rooms, the lounge was starting to pick up. It's getting a bit busier. There's still only one food station open, which is a bit strange, so I think I'll just wait till I'm on board to eat. Other than that, I think I'm going to try and sneak one more glass of bubbles in, and I'll see you at the gate.
One of the disadvantages of Istanbul being such a big mega hub is you do so much walking. I think I'm easily going to do like 1 to 2 kilometers just to get to the gate. It's too big.
Queues at the gate were an absolute scramble, but thankfully I could access the priority boarding queue, which only had a few people in front of me. And here's the 2-year-old A350 will be flying over to Hanoi today.
Okay, I've just made it on board, and first impressions are I quite like the look of the seat. This is the better business class seat in the Turkish fleet. Most of their aircraft have the 222 layout seat, which I tried to avoid, so I'm glad I'm on an A350. It's a 121 layout. Seat looks pretty good. You definitely don't have the same privacy like you did on Finnair, even though both seats don't have a door. Finnair, you're more cocooned in, but still looks very nice, so let's have a look around.
First of all, I love the dark color scheme. It makes the cabin look really sleek and modern. The seat felt comfortable, had an adjustable headrest. Of course, being in business class, you can stretch your legs out to your heart's content. And the seat controls are built into the side table, although their position means you always end up accidentally pressing the buttons throughout the flight. Storage-wise, there's just a small compartment by your side table and a place for your shoes under the cubbyhole. Reading lights are built into the seat, and we'll come back to the IFE screen in the amenities section. For now though, it's time for the pre-departure service. We're starting off with a cold towel to freshen up, which is much needed after the hike I just took across the airport. Then I had a lemon mint mocktail. This tasted good, but the Qatar one is still my favorite. I did also try the basil berry soda, which was really nice. The onboard chef came by to take my order from the menu, which had a choice of 3 starters, 3 mains, and 6 desserts. And again, I'll let the experts rate the wine list in the comments. But for now, it's time to buckle up and make our way into the skies. After takeoff, the crew served me a glass of champagne with some mixed nuts while the food was being prepared. And then 40 minutes after takeoff, my first course was served.
The sun has just started to rise as I'm finishing my meal service. My body clock is going to be so ruined after this flight. But anyway, how was the meal service? Well, it started off with some champagne and warm mixed nuts, always a great way to start a business class flight. And then for starters, I had a lentil soup and the Turkish meze. They both tasted really good. I enjoyed it. I still prefer the Qatar Airways Arabic meze. That one is undefeated. Well, no, actually, the Emirates one's pretty good too. Anyway, but they both tasted really good. For main course, I had the chicken brochette with bulgur. Now this tasted amazing. The chicken tasted like it's come fresh off of a fire grill. I don't know how they managed to maintain that flavor on the plane, but really good, really impressed with that dish. And then for dessert, I had I forgot the name of it, some sort of Turkish dessert with ice cream. Also, tasted really good. So overall, I'm really impressed. It's each course is served plate by plate, so it's not one tray service like we saw on Finnair. And one thing I did notice, I was always under the impression that Turkish served food from a tray, kind of buffet style. They came down the aisle and scooped it up onto your plate. But it seemed to be dine on demand. The menu said dine on demand. The chef came at the start of the flight to take the orders, so I don't know if that's something new or not. Let me know in the comments. But either way, really impressed with the meal service. Tasted great, so thumbs up. Okay, it's toilet inspection time. Turkish Airlines edition. We have a massive toilet here. Lots of space to walk around. I can see branded soaps down here. We've got cologne. We've got a diffuser making it smell nice. There's some fresh flowers, although is it fake or? I think those are fake flowers, but still we got some flowers. 2 air fresheners. There's a foot pedal for the bin. Always love to see that. I hate putting my hands on the top of the bin cover. But the one thing this doesn't have over the Finnair toilets is the window, so you can't piss with a view. But apart from that, it's a pretty impressive toilet. I like the look of it. Big thumbs up to Turkish for this one. Okay, and now that I'm back in my seat, let's talk about the amenities before I get myself to bed. So, we've got the big IFE screen in front. Turkish has a great, decent selection of movies. We've got the in-flight map. And then in terms of charging, we have an international power socket with USB-A underneath, no USB-C, and Wi-Fi for business class passengers is complimentary up to 1 GB and unlimited messaging. There's also some paid plans available, but I think 1 GB will be fine for me because my plan right now is to get the bed set up. In fact, the crew have already set up my bed while I was in the toilet, so I'm just going to flatten it. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And the last thing to mention with regards to amenities is the amenity kit. So it comes in a nice little pouch. We have an eye mask, earplugs, nice fluffy socks, toothbrush, toothpaste, hand cream and lip balm. So pretty nice selection. Now let's get to bed because I'm exhausted. My body clock's on like 6 a.m. and I haven't slept yet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, I'm not even sure anymore, but I have just managed to get about 5 hours of sleep, which I'm pretty happy with. Now, I won't say that this bed is the most comfortable. The leg movement is quite restricted in this cubby hole, it's pretty small. If you're sleeping on your back, you can't get your legs more than like a couple inches apart, which isn't great. Side sleeping is a bit more comfortable. Your knees can go out to both sides pretty comfortably and there's loads of space. But the one thing I noticed the most was in the upper body, it feels quite restricted between your arms. It feels like you're cocooned in, like in a coffin. It's a bit nicer on the side, but if you're sleeping on your back, you can definitely feel it. And I've just noticed there's a massive gap between the cabin wall and the edge of the seats. I feel like they could have used that space a bit more effectively to make the seat wider. I'm sure there's a reason why they didn't, but anyway, I still managed to get 5 hours of sleep, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I'll tell you what, it's definitely a lot better than sitting upright for the length of this flight, so I'm happy. Right now though, I think the crew have just started serving breakfast, so let's tuck in. I've just finished up the breakfast service and I've got to say I'm pretty impressed. For those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I don't really like breakfast on airplanes. Even in first class I usually find it's a bit subpar and not that good, but Turkish have really impressed me here. First of all, we had some cold cuts, cheeses and a plate with granola. Very good. But the highlight of the show was the eggs Benedict. These were poached eggs, they were soft and runny in the middle, how I'd like them, not this overcooked scrambled eggs you usually find on flights. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you can let me know in the comments, they must freshly prepare the eggs on the plane, because I don't understand how you could get them like that. So, very impressed. Nice to see fresh eggs. I'm happy. Thumbs up. Oh. And cheers.
Made it to Hanoi, we're in Vietnam, and that's the last flight done of season 1 of the Aviation World Cup. I really enjoyed that flight with Turkish Airlines, but now, since we're saving the scores to the end, I'm thinking quite hard about which airline should get which category win, and it's quite close for a lot of the categories. So I'm gonna think about this, but right now I actually have a connection in like about an hour, so I'm gonna rush to catch that, and we'll talk about the rest at the hotel. Whew, what an adventure. But these are the results everyone's been waiting for, so let's get straight to it, starting with the ground category winner. I think comparing the two airlines, I really do like the Finnair AirLounge and the calm and tranquility it brings, and I really like that 360-degree cocktail bar, but Turkish, with their separate dedicated business class check-in area, and the large Turkish Airlines business lounge with the live chef cooking stations and all of the extra space, this one goes to Turkish Airlines. Now stepping on board, the seat category. Finnair comes with their AirLounge seat and the Turkish A350 business class seat. Now personally for me, I find the Finnair seat way more comfortable, it's more spacious, and I like the no recline mechanism, it affords you more space. I thought the Turkish seat was a bit restricted when sleeping, so for me, this category win goes to Finnair. Now the hospitality category. I want to start off by saying the crew on both flights were incredibly friendly, they were attentive and proactive with the service. I don't always film the crew interactions because I don't want to invade their privacy, but I have no faults on either airline. Huge praise to the crew, so it's going to come down to the food. And as much as I do like the Finnair food, and I think it did improve, Turkish Airlines really is on another level with the onboard chef, the way they plate every course separately, the dine on demand. Hospitality is going to Turkish Airlines. And now onto my favorite category, the toilets category. This one's interesting because both airlines had really spacious toilets in business class. They both had branded amenities. They were both kept spotlessly clean throughout the flight. So the one thing it comes down to for me is having the window in the toilet. And for that reason, Finnair gets the toilet category win. We're at 2 points for Finnair and 2 points for Turkish. That means the amenities category is going to decide the winner. When we look at Finnair, they come with a minimalist approach that's reflected in their amenity kits with not much in there. And they do offer 1 hour free Wi-Fi and the IFE system is good, but when we compare it to Turkish Airlines in-flight entertainment system with a vastly larger catalog of movies and TV shows, we get the 1 gigabyte of free Wi-Fi which can last you longer than just an hour, and the amenity kit with branded goods and way more in it. That means Turkish Airlines gets the amenity category win and becomes the Season 1 champion of the Aviation World Cup. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in for these last 15 episodes. It's been a crazy adventure, and I want to hear in the comments what you thought of the tournament. Do you think Turkish deserved to win? Who did you think would make it to the finals? Let me know if you've flown with Finnair in long-haul business class or Turkish Airlines in long-haul business class. What was your experience like? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and keep an eye open because I'm going to be dropping a Season 1 recap soon where I talk about some behind-the-scenes stories, and I'll be talking about some details of Season 2, what's changing and what region it's going to be, because I've just booked the round 1 flights yesterday. So don't miss it, hit subscribe, and as always, till next time.